some indicators. And if you see these things anywhere, run away. Satan is in charge of that temple. Are you there? So I had to go do serious research based on the things we have compiled through counseling over the years. Number one, if you see anything that looks like animal sacrifices in the execution of the terms of the priesthood, it means that you are dealing with Satan. Someone sent me a voice note about a lady that he brought to assist. Then the lady goes to this temple, and then they pray. It says Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. Then after they do that one, they say no, it's a name, it's a real name it's a Hebrew version of the name of Jesus. That is more effective when you. So when they finish the Yeshua, then there's an additional part. They will give them chickens, and each person must sacrifice his own chicken, and then they pour the blood down.
So why I feel this video is very important is that this man making this preaching is a renowned man of God, and he's been there for quite a long time. And according to what he said that through his course of apostleship and counseling people who have issues, he has seen a recurrent problem. So he has noted these 6 things down, and that is what people come. Most people who come for counseling, they come with these 6 things. So he decided to bring it out and teach the people so they don't fall victim for this as well. In that way, people don't have to come for counseling, if that makes sense. And for you watching as well, you might also be might fall victim of something like this, may have fall victim for it, or maybe planning to do the same. It's an opportunity for you to know and learn. The 5th one is the one that got me. In fact, at first when I heard the 5th one, I thought I might have made such mistake. But when I listened carefully, I realized that it's not what I thought. But let's also watch and all learn from it. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do. I would appreciate it, okay? Thank you.
Number 2, ceremonial baths, where strange soaps are given to people. And sometimes there is a requirement that you need to take your bath at the river bank. Anybody in this congregation ever obeyed such an instruction? You had to go to the river bank to take your bath. We are in the house of light. The reason why I'm here today is so that every chain will be broken. When you come here, are you with me? Don't be ashamed.
No,
are you following what I'm talking about? You are not following. That's why the response is dying out. I said, are you here? I was speaking with my wife before we came. A lady came here. She has gone back now. A lady came here. When we did the altar call, she refused to come out. The reason was because she knows she has my number. So when I was just preparing for this service, and I now started seeing lumps of messages from that lady. She was doing her own confessions on WhatsApp because she was too proud to come and say, we went and took water and we danced naked.
Sounds like a joke, but it happens, honestly.
You have lost the virtue of sincerity. You don't need help. You need to walk through the wilderness and let the sun scorch you. Number 3 is called temple prostitution. When the person that you went to help you felt that part of the requirement of the deliverance is sexual intercourse. This congregation is... We used to be excited before. I don't know what's happened to...
He's not making this up.
My job is to prepare you. Jesus wants to fill the gap of missionary manpower. He's looking for people to talk. My job is to prepare you for what Jesus wants to do with the church in Nigeria. The devil is aware that Jesus will come here to look for recruits. So he came and brought all these kinds of contamination so that people will be dealing with issues of satanic entrance in their lives, and God will not have recruits for his army. Temple prostitution. Number 4, nude prayers. The kind of prayer you pray, you get naked.
I've heard of it
before you start. That kind
at night.
The reason why I know this gospel is going far, because the way we are quiet, I know God is winning. Nude. You go naked first.
What for?
You have been doing nude prayers. This is a temple of life. You don't understand. Let's start again. You have been doing that kind of powerful nude prayer. Okay. Is it Jesus? Who did you see in the Bible that did that? Is it the apostles went naked? The 5th one is what we call the exchange philanthropy.
This is the one.
exchange philanthropy. It's okay, the end of the exercise is that you go and buy rice and take to the motherless baby's home, or buy something, go and give to beggars. That's exchange philanthropy. The moment you make that sacrifice, that offering, Satan marks you, and he marks your genealogy after you.
So at first, when he was saying it, it felt like almsgiving, right? Some people do that, like after fasting and prayers, they go give things to people who need it, like, way of sacrifice. But what he's saying here is not that almsgiving. It's what he said is exchange. It's different. So almsgiving is different, because the first time I heard it, I thought it was almsgiving. I'm like, what's wrong with almsgiving? But the one he's talking about is the one with an intention. Like, people can give things to people with the intention of exchanging their bad condition for the good condition of the person that they're giving the things to the recipient. So let's say the person is sick and they tell you, go give it to someone who's healthy, so that you transfer your sickness to this person and then take the person's health. It's crazy. I personally don't know things like that happens, but obviously it does. But almsgiving, thumbs up, that's for sure. But the intent is different. That's what he's trying to say here.
Exchange philanthropy, so that you release your sickness to the people and then take their peace. It's an exchange system. That's an exchange demonic system. It is still in that exchange philanthropy system that people are asked to look for one member of your family and buy the person a car, buy the person a house, because that's the person that they're going to use as sacrifice for you, so that you will live and the person will die. I've seen many people. There was a lady we went to rescue from death, and I went there with all the powers of grace that God has given to me. And we prayed for her. She couldn't stand. I said, no, it's not possible. You can't anoint me like this for this mission. And then it was later that I discovered that there was exchange philanthropy. The person was eating from where you should not eat. And so we became powerless in the face of the exchange. We were powerless. There are some gifts you should reject, my brother. The sixth number is the most terrible. I pray there's nobody in this physically that has gone through this. But if you have, I will spend the whole of this time of ministration on you to make sure that we get you.
Merciful.
That's the most difficult to deliver somebody from. Are you there?
God help us, man.
And it is a prescription from the necromancers. You know that scripture that we read? Shall not the people seek unto their own God from the living to the dead? That's necromancy. Consulting the dead on behalf of the living. One of the prescriptions of necromancy requires that you sleep in a coffin. Sometimes a coffin normally is for 3 days, 3 nights. They can bring you out in the day, but you need to go back in the night, and you spend the whole night in the coffin. It invokes legions of demons to accompany you, except the Lord stretches forth his hand. And if you are listening to me there, so there are two options. It's either you have slept in a coffin before, or you slept in the burial ground. Because there is this product that necromancers normally parade, that they have power to do, which is to give people the wealth of the dead. That the people that died, most of them did not fulfill their destiny. So the richest place on earth is the grave, because the people were supposed to be rich, but they died poor because of witchcraft.
I've heard it.
So they have found the technology of how to gather their wealth, the wealth that they did not have in time. There's a way, there's a means through which it can be scooped and transferred. But you need to come to the land of the dead to receive it. Anybody slept in the graveyard before? Okay, one, just one.
Someone actually did.
Just one.
God is merciful.
Let me end.
All right. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. So the big word there is deception, to deceive. You might think that you're a Christian, you know what's up. There's no way you're going to sacrifice animals. You're not going to sleep in the grave. You're not going to do this or that, because you already know, right? If they present those things immediately, you will say no. They won't, because if they do, it's no longer deception. So why most people are very vulnerable is that it's going to start subtle, because they plan to deceive. Because someone who wants to deceive you is not just going to come boom, right? So it has to come subtly. You think you are reading the Psalms, you think you are reading the Bible, you think you're praying. Before you know what's happening, they introduce something. But before you know what's happening, you're in too deep. If you don't have a good relationship with God, right, you won't know when things are going wrong. If a boy meets a man on the way, and the boy knows very well that his father doesn't smoke, and then a random man comes to this boy and say, hey, your dad said go get the smoke, go buy the smoke for me, or go buy the cigarette for me, right? The boy already knows, I know my father doesn't smoke. And if that's the case, the boy will definitely know that this guy is not from my father. But if you don't know your father and he says, go buy the cigarette, you go buy it. So the most important thing for us is our relationship with God. If you want to know about deception, because those people, they start with deception, right? And they start subtle before you know you are going into deep. The video I'm going to link to this video about E.J. Newton will tell you about deception. It's mind-blowing. Subscribe and share this message to people so they will learn too. See you next time, okay? Peace.